Might be starting today, as a matter of fact.
That would be nice.
It looks like a nice day on the way and some nicer weather as we're going to, and as you look to the long-term forecast, it seems to be like we'll settle into a bit of a groove. Lower 80s and sunshine and maybe some clouds, but I can deal with that. It's been chilly the last couple of days. All right, lots to get into. Today we'll do our free money question of the day. We'll give you a chance to win $100, $200, or $300. But wait, what did we call? What did I call this? I wrote it down somewhere. I forgot. It was like a triple factor or something. I don't know. Some goofy.
The trifecta.
The trifecta or some goofy thing. But here's how it's going to work. Every free money question this week is going to be worth $300.
Really?
Every $300, 300 of Hobica's $1 bills.
Does Hobica know about this?
I haven't explained it to him yet, but I'm sure he'll hear all about it. But $300, each question is worth $300, and I'll try to do a couple each morning this week. So be prepared, Andrew. The stakes are high.
They are. People will be coming in the phone lines quicker than they can call.
I'm excited that we don't have to hear
like
that voice again.
Well, I thought we should re-record it and have like a happy voice. $300, yes, something like that, as opposed to $100. Okay, the latest in the debate. Yesterday's debate. We're going to get into that, and who really won the debate? Do you have an opinion? They were on TV last night too. I saw, but our debate yesterday ran almost 2.5 hours. And I thought it was very informative. We learned a lot. They went back and forth a little bit, but it was somewhat respectful. They did talk about issues. I thought it was a positive. As a matter of fact, it is talked about, written about in today's front page of the Observer-Dispatch. Of course, one of the OD reporters was on the panel with us yesterday. But I thought it was really well done. Immediately, Claudia Tenney's camp came out and said she was clearly the winner. Do we all agree with that?
Well, I wouldn't say if I agreed or not, just because I guess, well, I don't know. I think it depends on what you're looking for.
I think so. If you're a supporter of Claudia Tenney, then I would imagine she won that debate. If you are someone that is not, then you would say I don't think that she won the debate. I don't know that there was any clear-cut winner. I heard a lot of people say George Phillips came out because he didn't get into the muck, and he might have come out on top. Again, I'd be interested to see what people think from yesterday. Who won the debate?
Is he a U.S. history teacher? I'm kidding. No, I think each of them accomplished. I'm just teasing.
Well, it's funny because they all had their talking points that they wanted to get in, and they kept pushing it.
They got them in.
Cuomo donator, Cuomo lover. Claudia doesn't go to work.
Correct.
And George Phillips is a history teacher and an American history teacher
and an educator.
But I thought it was it really was quite interesting to watch the three in action together for the first time in the same studio.
Well, also too, one thing that I noticed in the press release that named Claudia the winner from her campaign. In that email, it said that it was $11,500 that was donated to Cuomo's campaign, but Claudia kept saying 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Yeah. So I don't know what's the right number.
Well, we'll deal with that. Also, June 18th was in question. Was Claudia Tenney with her dying mother, and I'm quoting her dying mother, whose Coumadin levels were dropping, and she was with her and actually really laid into Stephen Wells, saying that he was despicable for questioning a daughter. Any daughter would do that for her mother. But Wells was saying on June 18th, you weren't with your mother. You were somewhere else. So we've done a lot of digging, and we'll tell you what we know about the money, the Cuomo money, and what we know about the June 18th. And the Tenney, what we call it, her... schedule, her, what would it be?
Her schedule.
Her schedule, the Tenney schedule for the 18th.
I heard from a lot of people yesterday after the debate, and, I was videotaping, so I was kind of watching it as a bystander.
Yeah, as a spectator.
And it was funny to listen to the comments that we got in the newsroom and on email after the debate, the things that irked people.
Yeah.
Like phones going off of the candidates, They thought that was distracting. They thought, and not everybody had a phone in here, but they thought it was distracting.
Well, some of them, Tenny, is the phone is attached to her hip. And that's any time that she's been in this studio, and certainly was yesterday. There was a lot of communication going on with text messaging, it seemed, yesterday. But
I don't remember the phone going off, though. I know we were ringing a bell.
The phone didn't go off.
Right.
It was constantly being read.
Right.
But that's it's a radio studio. It's a little different than a TV debate. You really didn't see that. Although on TV, I did see she had her phone with her on TV
people
last
on
night.
TV commented.
Yeah,
People on,
yeah.
People emailed and called into the studio afterward. And so I wasn't going to mention that it was Claudia Tenney, but it was Claudia
Yeah,
Tenney with
yeah.
her phone going off. It was just interesting to see the things that
Stuck
bothered
out for
people,
people,
that stuck
yeah.
out for people. Right.
All right, we'll talk about it, and we'll take your calls. And maybe you feel there was an outright winner. Maybe you feel it was close. Was there anything that changed your mind? Did your vote change yesterday, or did it just simply reconfirm what you already really thought you knew? We'll get into that stuff coming up. Also, of course, more details coming out of Orlando. And the more details that come out, the crazier it gets. Donald Trump giving mainstream Republicans more reason to run from him, and he's doubling down on his comments about his ban. And I'm not sure how this applies, because this was a guy born in the 1980s in New York City. He was brought up in the New York City school district. He is an American citizen. No immigration law would have changed that. Certainly, we'd have to go back a long time for the law to have had any effect on this case, right? I mean, he was born in New York City in the 1980s, born a U.S. citizen. His parents are now U.S. citizens. So I'm not sure what would have changed, but Trump has the plan, and it involves bans. So there's a lot of people talking about that. Additionally, there's some very disturbing news out of this, and that is they have confirmed that the gun was the AR-15. And we all know what that means, right? That's the Bushmaster AR-15, which Bushmaster owned by the Freedom Group, which owns Remington Arms. Bushmaster, the Freedom Group, Remington Arms, involved in the lawsuit in Sandy Hook, where an AR-15 was used. So no matter where you are on the gun issue, one thing, unfortunately, is very clear. This is going to just mean more trouble for gun rights advocates, more trouble potentially in court if they're going after and having success going after Remington and Bushmaster in Connecticut. You have to feel like this case they're going to try to do the same thing. It just means more trouble. It so much so that yesterday Mark Butler had a SAFE Act press conference that was planned. They canceled that, which made news across the state yesterday, because they felt that out of respect for the families and for what had happened there in Florida, that they were going to postpone that press conference. So we will talk to Mark Butler later on this morning. And then beyond all of this, the shooter, the murderer, we're finding out more and more that he actually frequented this gay club. That he had gay dating site identities, and his wife is now out talking that he was a beater, that he abused her, and that she felt that he was gay. His school friend, his high school friend, said that he felt he might actually have been confused about his sexuality. All of this with his father coming out and saying, God will punish them. It is not up for us, talking about gays, it is not up for people or humans to do the punishing. So there is a lot to get into here today, a lot unfolding out of this, and it just gets more and more sad and more bizarre. 621, here's Christine with an update.